This map first impressions video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Gemeinde Rade. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. Now this map does have two required mods. If you look at the link in the description below, it will take you to the Farming Simulator download page for this particular map, and both of those mods are listed there. It is the Machine Sheds by DMI 20mm Normandy and the Crops and Machinery Storage Building by DMI 20mm Normandy. Make sure you put both of those mods into your mod folder as well as the map. This map is fully seasons prepared, and go ahead and jump on in because there's some stuff we need to talk about related to how this map, this is the 1.0 version of the map, uploaded on December 21st. I'm a little late to get to this map due to holiday schedules, but at any rate, there's a couple things we need to show you on this map, and I'm going to show you how to fix the problems that are going to come up here on the map. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pick our normal mods that we use during our videos. We're also going to include the Crops and Machinery Storage Building and the Machine Sheds Building. Those are the two additional required mods. Go ahead and pull up the log. And what we're going to find is while the map loads up error-free, there are a few problem childs with the map that we are going to have to fix before I think we can really enjoy the map the way the map author has intended. Here we are on the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. And I think what we'll do is we're just going to jump right to the problem areas. I'm going to show you how to fix those. And then we're going to come back and kind of start from scratch, if you will, with the map video. Now we are here on new farmer mode. And of course, on new farmer mode, we can do various things. But of particular note is that we can buy animals. Okay, as you would expect. There it is. We can buy animals as you would expect, right? Well, there are a few areas that seem to be broken. This sheep area is one of them. As you can see, we can come up to these cool custom icons. Nothing happens at this one. If we go to this sheep area, I have to run a little bit. See, as we come up to this one, we can open the dialogue. There's also 4 cow pastures down here that are also broken as the map has been delivered in version 1.0. See, we can walk up to this and we can't do anything. You might say, well, it's because we need to buy the land. And now we own the land, and we still can't open the animal area. So I'm going to exit the map, and I'm going to talk to you on how we can fix the issue with these 4 cow pastures and this particular sheep area. And then we'll come back and we'll do our proper map video. All right, so here we are with the map open in 7-zip. This is by far my most favorite application to look and explore and manipulate zip files. So all I've done is I've opened up the map, fs19 germanderad.zip, and basically this is the contents of the map. What we want to do is we want to go to the XML folder, and then specifically what we want to look at is we want to look at the default items single player, and I'm going to just kind of walk you through the default items multiplayer just to do that, because there is a specific multiplayer setup and a specific single player setup. There's also this ROD competitive multiplayer. I'm not going to mess with that one because that's probably extremely special purpose as far as who's going to be concerned with that. And then we're also going to look at the items XML in the save game that we were just in. Went ahead and saved that, then exited the game. So we're going to take a look at all of those in Notepad++. So here we are in Notepad++, and what we're going to find is that, this is our items.xml. This is in our save game folder that we did when we were exploring that. And specifically, what we're going to find is farmland ID 1 is going to be the farmland that we need to have in order to be able to manipulate particular items. So here we have the machine shed here as a farm ID 1. Here we have a animal husbandry area, okay, with a farm ID of 0. So this is one of the cow areas. Specifically, this is one of the 4 that we couldn't manipulate. Well, it's because it starts out with a farm ID of 0. So there's 2 ways you can fix this. 2 ways you can fix your save game. One, open your items.xml in your appropriate save game folder. Okay, for me, it was save game 4. Save games are going to be all in the same folder as your mod folder. So simply change the farm ID here from 0 to 1. Okay, save this, and then next time you launch the game, you'll be able to manipulate and activate and buy and use this particular animal husbandry area. So if we keep on looking down here, we're going to find other farm ID equals 0. Go ahead and look at these. So if it's a selling station, that's fine. It doesn't need to be a farm ID 1. In fact, we don't want it to be a farm ID 1. What we really want to find is farm ID 1 zeros that are associated with animal husbandries. Here's another one. 2, 3. Here's the sheep area. And here is, nope, that's not it. And here is the 4th animal husbandry area that we can't manipulate. So if we change these farm IDs from 0 to 1 in our items.xml, that will fix it. We don't have to do anything else. Other way of doing it is to open up the default items singleplayer.xml. Again, that was in our map. So here we have the map, and you can see that we've got default items single player right there. So all I've done is I've simply dragged that out to my desktop and then opened it up in Notepad++. So here we have the single player default items, and basically this file is what governs what new game saves get. So if you already have an existing game save, by far the easiest thing to do is to edit your items folder, items file, and change those farm IDs from 0 to 1 in the animal husbandry areas that have it set to farm ID 0. If you haven't created a save game yet, then this will do it for you, and you won't have to edit that items.xml file later. What we want to do specifically is we want to find the large sheep area and the 4 cow pasture areas. See, most of these things have a farm ID of 1 right here. We're going to go ahead and copy that entry. So what we're looking for is down here a little bit. Right here, we have the large husbandry sheep, farm ID 1. So good. We have large husbandry sheep 2. And notice it's missing the farm ID entry. So there's a rotation, farm ID 1, then default farm property equals false. We have rotation, default farm property equals false, but we don't have the farm ID entry. So let's just paste that there, and then look, here's the 4 cow pasture areas that are also broken. Go ahead and paste that in. So we're putting it on the right line, same line with the rotation. that. And once we do that, then we're going to want to save this. Okay. And remember, this is on our desktop. What we need to do is we need to get that back into our map. What we're going to do is we're going to bring up 7-zip again. And it's simply a matter of dragging it and dropping it into 7-zip. I'm going to go ahead and let's pull up the desktop. Here's my desktop. I just had the 7-zip zoomed in there real good. So we're going to take our single items and drag it and drop it. You can see right now it has a date of 12/20. I'm going to drag and drop it. If you want to update, now it has a date of 12/24, 5:45 p.m. So now we have updated our map. Yeah, we've updated our map. Sorry. You can see there now we're zoomed back in a little bit. That's 12/24. Now all we need to do is launch the game, start a new save game, and everything will be nice and working. Now, before we do that, I do want to talk a little bit about the custom multiplayer default items, because if you want to play this in multiplayer, well, you should understand kind of how it's been set up, because it's already been set up with different farm names. Different farms own different properties. We can all see this through the default items multiplayer.xml. We can also start a multiplayer game, and I think I'm going to do that also probably right after this. Again, then after that, we're going to jump into and do single player normal again. You can see we have custom farms already set up with the farm IDs. This is farm ID 1. See, we own the large cow husbandry area in farm ID 1. We have farm ID 2. This is a pig farm. All the things that farm ID 2 owns. Farm ID 3 is technically the BGA. You don't start by owning it because this is set to false, I believe. I believe that's what that means. But it's set up to be kind of the BGA. We have another farm here, another sheep farm, farm ID 4. The horse farm is farm ID 6. And then we have the same broken sheep and cow pastures. So if you were doing multiplayer and you wanted, let's say farm ID 7 to have the sheep area here, copy this, paste it again on the rotation line, make this farm ID 7, save the file, slap it in the same folder in the same map zip as we did with the single player. And then next time you start a multiplayer game, farm ID 7 will already own or already have access to this particular sheep area. You'd also want to change for cow pastures here to be whatever farm ID you want them to be in order for you to be able to use it and play it in multiplayer. So what we're going to do is jump back in game. I'm going to start a local multiplayer session, and we're just going to click through real quick the various farms that are pre-made. We're not going to make anything. All these farms are going to be pre-made in the multiplayer session. So we are back in game, as you can tell, and I have started a multiplayer session. I have done nothing else, and you can see here we have farms already built out, already named, and everything. We haven't joined a single farm. So if you look here at the map, basically the icons that you can see are icons that are owned by nobody. Specifically, I have not fixed the sheep and the 4 cow areas on this particular default items for multiplayer. I did not fix those. Fix them, then they shouldn't show up if you don't own a farm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into farm 1. And you're going to see that we now have this cow area, which is on our main farm. And if we come over here, we can activate that. Now, we know that there is a go over here. We know that there is a pig area right here. This is that sheep area. So we know this exists. You can see I cannot activate this area because I'm not a part of a farm that owns it. That's some of the cool stuff with multiplayer if you haven't done that in the past. Join farm 2. You can see farm 2 is the pig farm. Farm 3 is the BGA, if you remember. So we don't own the BGA with this particular farm. We have to buy it, but it is set up to be the BGA. Farm number 4. Farm 4 is this sheep area. Now that we have that sheep farm, buy things, buy the animals. We have farm 5. 5 is set up. Be no particular animals. 6, I believe we said, was the horse area. And then that's it. So we have 6 farms pre-built out. Go make 2 more farms if we want. So there you go. So just what you can expect if you're going to do this in multiplayer, how it's been set up, and be sure to edit the default multiplayer items so that you have access to that sheep and those 4 cow pens. Assign them to whatever farm you want, create a new farm, and assign them to that. Doesn't really matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset again and start a new save with the updated single player default items, and we'll see that those areas now work. I thought I'd just show you that we are indeed starting a new save game. We're going to use slot 9, new farmer, Gemeinde Rade, and we're going to pick again the normal mods that we do as well as the required mods. For this particular map. Pull up the log like we typically do, just to show you that our edit did not break anything in particular. We'll say if you start this on Farm Manager or start from scratch, you still have all of this starting equipment that is loading in here. Let's jump over here to the sheep area that was broken. See already, we can activate the animal dialogue. We jump down here to this particular pasture that was broken. We can activate that dialogue. So we are now good to go and ready to start our game save. Here we are back at the main farm. And let's get on with the program. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. And if we go to the lands area, see that we start out by owning the main farm here, but the farm itself is not associated with any of the particular fields. So the most adjacent field is number 1, is $249,000. Fields are kind of expensive here, $183,000. And given on new farmer mode, we only start with $100,000. Might be kind of hard pinched to find any land that we can buy without taking out more of a loan than we already have. Here you can see little sliver 35 is $90,000. Field 39 is $84,000. Those are kind of arguably the cheapest land plots. We have the BGA down here, $1.2 million. We have the horse farm, $363,000. We have the sheep farm here, $439,000. The smaller sheep area is just $21,000. pretty good price there. We have a pig farm. That's a pig farm. Yeah, we have the pig farm, which is $1.1 million. Then we have 4 cow pastures down here. $138,000, $282,000, $196,000, and $227,000. Those are all of those areas. Then we have big fields here like 771, 36, $995,000. So there's a lot of land here on the map. Fairly expensive as far as field prices go, but quite an interesting array and shape of all these fields. Go ahead and take a look at our crops. So we have all of our standard crops here on the map, minus sugarcane and cotton. Take a look at that. Cotton and sugarcane are not in the list, but we do have another crop down here. I guess another variant of wheat or barley, I guess. Roten. Not really sure what that is. I haven't researched that little bit. Take a look here at the sell points. We have 2 main sell points that accept the bulk of our crops here. We also have a root crop sell point for potatoes and sugar beets. We have a sell point for eggs and milk and wool. 2 sell points for silage, hay, and straw. And this includes or excludes the BGA. Remember, we don't own the BGA at this point, even though Rad Energy is listed here. Kind of interesting, because here we have Rad Energy, the actual BGA. We don't own the BGA proper, but we can still apparently use it as a sell point without actually owning it. That is something interesting, and I'd be a little curious if that actually works. I'm a little sketchy given the fact that we had to fix this map's default items for the sheep area and the 4 cow pastures already. A little sketchy on this because pretty much every other map you've got to own the BGA before you can use it. Take a look at our starting equipment. We've got quite a large list of starting equipment here. Fairly low hours, well maintained. And while we do own the cow area, we do not have any cows when we start out. We do have also contracts available on the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting fleet. Start out with 3 different tractors. Sorry, we have the Armatrac 1104. We don't often get this one. We have the Massey Ferguson 5610 and the 7719 tractor. So our tractors range in horsepower from 105 to 210 horsepower. We have the Massey Ferguson 7347S harvester, the free flow 25-foot header. We have the TDK 1600 trailer and the HW80 trailer. Have the TOH5 plow, the Cultimer L300 cultivator, the Rapid A600S seeder. Then we have the Kuhn Fertilize spreader, FarmTech Superfec 800 manure spreader. Then we have the Zunhammer SKE 18.5 PUD slurry applicator. We have the Kuhn side mower, Vicon tedder, and the Kuhn rake. We have the Straudeman forage wagon. We have the New Holland round baler. We have the Knight PMR mixer. We have the Joskins water trailer, front loader arms, and a bale spike. We have our header trailer. Then we have these are our required mods. We own the crop storage building here, several machine sheds, and that's what we start out with. Let's take a look here and see if any of these custom animal areas are buyable. They are not. They're also not sellable, as you can see. The only thing we're going to have here are going to be these modded buildings, which are the buildings that are required to have. So with that, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a farm tour. Go ahead and go around the farm clockwise. I think that might be the easiest thing to do. Here we have one of those sheds that is one of the required mods So again, if you forget to activate those, you're going to find the main farm rather barren as far as buildings go. Then we've got our refueling icon here. I really do like these custom icons. You can turn them on and off by going here to the general settings and toggling interactive markers on and off. So instead of just having the hashes on the ground, we've got these cool interactive markers. In here we have our customized trigger for maintenance and such. Also have our plow in there. Need to make our way around. Pretty nice farm setup here. Lots of buildings to store machinery in. And here we have our dump and our fill triggers. That is our farm silo. And again, instead of just having hash marks, we've got nice, cool little graphical icons. But I know some folks won't like those because, you know, they're kind of just in your face. You kind of ignore the yellow and black markers on the ground. Building is really, really cool. The weathering, the wear, the little rust, the dirt, whatever on those I-beams. Really like that touch. Got our harvester over here and our header trailer. And then we're coming around to our cow area. Kind of already seen this a little bit in the previous segments where we were talking about the various problems. How to fix those. So let's go ahead and get one cow so we can kind of look at that in the shop. Cow area. Here we have our food trough. Conveniently located or marked with the food trough icon right there. You can also kind of see the grass fill plane there that would be coming up. I'm going to suspect that this is going to be where our manure is going to be piling up. And we have, what can it be but the milk trigger. The milk trigger. Sorry about that, guys. Here we have the straw trigger. Then we have kind of a second straw trigger and second food trough over here. That's kind of an interesting setup. Looking at the various details in the building. Our slurry point. Slurry trailer conveniently parked on top of that. And then the water trough. Well, the water trough should be around here somewhere. Should be located with the water valve. Look around and see if we can't find that. Yeah, this is just a static building, it looks like. Yep. I am not locating the water trough. Where could that thing be? Take a look back through here. Maybe I missed something. Straw. More straw. Food trough. Oh, completely missed it. Thanks be it to the water trailer parked right there. So here we have the water trough. Basically just this hose hookup. So the pen extension mod, the valve really just doesn't really fit here, but at any rate, there's your water trigger. Around the side of the building, we have our silage bunkers for the cow area. Do the trigger for that one. Trigger for that one. Back to farmhouse, we have our sleep trigger located there. Wondering if maybe, just maybe, the garage was operational. Your front loader arms and our forks over there. Another one of those wonderful buildings. Really nice farm setup. Really digging how this is set up. Let's go ahead and get ready to take flight a bit and do a fly around of the map. Then we're going to obviously get into our Mahindra and do a more thorough drive around. Go up, up, and away like Superman. There is the main farm. Fairly nice cow pasture area. Should be able to support a fair number of cows with respect to the graze mod capability. Here, let's, well, like I said, we're going to end at the shop, which is off in that direction. So let's head north, see what we got going on. Got a small sheep farm over here to our right. We have then the pig farm right here. Coming up here. Now, this is a little, you know, it would be nice, especially if you're down here kind of at the ground level. It'd be nice if the map author did extend that water plane visually out there for quite some way, because, you know, and again, we are flying in the air. You're typically not going to have that high of a vantage point, but it wouldn't be unsaid to have this as a vantage point. And, you know, to see the, possibly see the barges there just floating around, floating out into no man's land. These cars just kind of looping around. Would be nice to have maybe hid that in some way. Maybe something other than a flat 2D tree line also. That is a crutch that I think gets used way too much. The whole northern part up here is all just fields. Just head over here just to see what is north of 35. Something there, but it's not really marked. This is another one of those required mod buildings. Like it's just crop storage, machinery storage. We even open things. Yeah, we can open it up. A little bit more elevation so we can really just take a look, see how things lay as far as the lay of the land goes. Make our way down south to see the BGA. Kind of see with the field info there, various fields that we're driving over or flying over, the size and everything of them coming up. That is kind of useful information. Here we've got the BGA, kind of a long, elongated deal. Again, it's kind of interesting that the PGA is set up as a sell point even if you don't own the land. Yeah, I mean we're out here. We're obviously much higher than we typically would be, but still the map just ends and then there's nothing. It would be nice to have seen the map border, map edge extend well beyond the map border. Kind of a, maybe it's a little bit of a, is it a bit of a shame that that occurs? Yeah, I mean that's kind of what you see at normal levels, maybe. Maybe you've got a mod that has a high camera, so maybe you're more at this level. So it would have been nice to have seen maybe the map continue on. You know, a map with this kind of detail to it really is a shame. You know, that you can see things like this, floating barges out there. And we've got this whole southern portion is separated by this big tree ridge line. Remember this map in 17? I don't think it was. I don't know if it was in the mod hub for 17 or if it was just available on PC. Over here we have the horse area. There, kind of the southern portion of the town. We have the other sheep area, and let's go ahead and sit down over here at the shop. Like I said, we'll take a more in-depth look around the map with the Mahindra once we get that. So here at the shop, we've got maybe fuel triggers. It looks like it does have a trigger box there, so that is definitely a possibility. We have our shop trigger. And then we have our customized trigger over here. Any sort of activation. No, that's just a visual. Here's your customized sell point. Token floating object. We've got that out of the way. Now, what I've seen this around the shop, and I'm just going to comment on it now, but I like seeing this machinery. It's obviously not machinery we own, not machinery we can use, but these are, you know, in-game models that have been placed here to kind of be, you know, stuff that's either on display here at the shop or just stuff that someone has not picked up yet. Got the front loader arms. Got the grinder there. Got some weights over here. Got a silage blade. Got a cultivator, power harrows, and other things over here. So, kind of set up as if it is a you know, on display bit of equipment. Oh, look at that. Was that what is that? Well, it's tic-tac-toe, but trying to think if there was like a real name for that with respect to it being on pavement. I don't remember. Maybe somebody can remember and let me know in the comments. Let's see here. I think once again, let's go around the map in kind of a clockwise rotation. I mean, obviously most of the stuff is here in town, and then we've got fields all around. But what we want to do is we want to hit all of these other animal areas as well as the sell points. And I want to go down there and take a look at those cow pastures. We'll head over to BGA, head down to the animal dealer and all that stuff down in the lower left of the map. Head up to the Holtz Handel Burt sell point, and then we'll end here at the horse area. First off, let's just try to double back over to that sheep farm. Can't figure out how to do that. This was a really nice map in 17. I'd like to see that now it's been brought into 19, even with its little idiosyncrasies. I think it's going to be updated probably early in 2020. Obviously, Giants shut down for the year, so anything that has been found by the map author and submitted to fix our issues, we're probably not going to see for a couple weeks because of Giants shutting down for the holidays, which you can't. Gosh. Yeah, I love that building. Seriously, it really is frustrating to have a map with details and structures and things like this, and then almost the little things like, why on earth are there animal areas that you can't use in any play mode? It really should have been picked up in testing, I would have thought. I've been kind of beating my head over how could things like that get missed in testing? How could things possibly get changed that significantly from one iteration to another with respect to it was working fine in testing? When it finally gets released, those XMLs just completely lose farm ID tags. So here we have the water trough, again identified by the nice water valve icons. Then of course, that doesn't hurt. We've got the animal pen extension mod enabled, so we have the water valves that we could use. We've got our food trough, and we've got, you know what I think that is? I think he's saying that this accepts bales. That accepts loose or bales. I'm thinking that's what this means, because we're here at the sheep area, and the sheep certainly don't take straw. So we have a straw plane there. The only way to find out is to get some sheep. We've got our wool trigger there, and then the buy trigger, or the delivery trigger for a sheep, is way down here in the corner. Go ahead and get a sheep. And just look here. Yeah, water, grass, and hay. No straw. Pretty normal. Those cows are pretty normal. And they're going to have really nice grazing capability in here with respect to seasons. Let's do a little first-person driving here and just kind of get a sense of the town from this perspective. Just continue on down this road. We're going to go to the pig farm. Right here on our right. All the triggers. Figure out how to get into the pig farm. Go. Kind of off the beaten path, but here we are into the this is the pig farm, right? That's the pig farm. Okay, and what we passed to get into the pig farm is this kind of little self-enclosed, self-contained sheep area. So let's double back to the sheep area and just kind of look around that. Here's kind of the self-contained little sheep area. It was fairly inexpensive to buy, so we've got our food trough, got our wool, got our sheep purchase point, delivery point. Then we have our water valve, water trough over here. Okay, pretty straightforward. Make sure those sheep don't require anything special. They don't have a cleanliness indicator, whereas the other sheep did. Interesting. Here we are at the pig area. We've got our manure, got our water trough. Got the sheep. Now, it would be really cool is if each of these animal delivery icons, I'm being a little nitpicky now, but if each of these animal delivery icons had, the icon of the animal for the specific area, where as opposed to them all having little cows. Here we have our straw. And then we have our food trough. Now this food trough doesn't have that bale icon, so I am wondering if that bale icon is indicating that we can put bales there. Pig area, kind of a really nice pig area. Trees. I got some dead wood in here. Goes back quite a ways. Really, really nice details on this map. I can see. Watched Mr. Sealy P's video on this where he was talking about the lot count for console. Here we have our slurry point. So it doesn't have the icon there, so I'm wondering if is it the slurry point? Where I was talking about the slot count on console being so high. And I suppose that has to do with the level of detail, the number of models, maybe in the map, kind of stuff that it has to render out. This building looks like it's going to have a wall collisions on it. You're the kind of player that likes to tip crop onto the ground, you can do that. Or we have the farm silo over here. Tip point and our fill point. And then we have the farmhouse for the pigs. Pig farm. That has a sleep trigger. Pretty large, pretty extensive pig farm. Sure. Another way maybe into the farm. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to our Mahindra and continue on. Just for fun, let's go ahead and loop back around and kind of loop out the way we were going. There we go. Oh. Head on down. We'll take the road. Looks like it's going to veer off to the right. So this is going to take us up to some sell points. This one possibly right here. Possibly. Let's see. Yep, here we have the bale sell point. One of the bale sell points. Again, really nice details here. Like how this area is, you know, off the main road. You got to come in. Probably the more realistic way of coming in here would be to come through the fence and then loop your way around the back of the building, get to the business end of things. Gonna be pretty tight getting in here with anything of any significance. So that is something to remember. Turn around and if we can cut through here. I'm trying to look at the PDA and trying to look at the roads. Like we can cut through here. We have the dairy and wool, milk and wool sell points. We have edge corn sale. That's what the sign says. Let's see what this does. And buy fertilizer. There's a fertilizer fill point. Just ignore that. I wonder if this is going to be for seed, and bulk fertilizer. Yep, bulk seed and fertilizer. 5 points there. We have our sell point, dump station. Oh, is this? What is this? Maybe forage? What do we get here? Oh, this is herbicide, I bet. That's herbicide because I can't, it's not letting me fill that up. It's got to be a fill type that is not accepted for. Guessing that's herbicide. And then this is probably lime. There's your lime. That's pretty cool. Over here we have what appears to be a water buy point or water fill point. It's a water buy point because it does have a kind of a currency icon on the water trigger, the water indicator. Check that out. Let's go up there and check that out. Kind of a, is this kind of like a bale barn? Could be a pretty cool bale barn. Or, you know, just anything, but I'm thinking it'd be a really cool bale barn to stash your bales in there. The way that's set up. Here we've got two fields that flank this road. The road is kind of recessed down in. All of these fields are kind of elevated. Now the level, grade elevation changes there on the field. We've got that tree line extending into the field. What really appears like custom crop textures. I mean, look at that corn. Pretty nice looking corn. Probably get a pretty good yield off of that stand of corn. And it really is a shame this map was released with those errors. I mean, it's not that big to fix them on PC. On console, they're pretty GameStop playing. I mean, you're not going to be able to buy that or use that cheap area, and you're not going to be able to use any of these cow pastures down here because of the fact that they can't get in there and edit those XML files. Kind of stuck until an update happens. I missed my road or something, so we're just gonna kind of shoot over here across the field, get to these cow pastures. But first, I want to check out field 39. Got something back here, kind of hidden away. Whoa! Kind of a pond, a little lake included back here. Pretty cool. It's pretty nice. We got collisions. Really? No collisions on the fence. Oh. Well, disappointing there too. But then again, there are folks that will like the fact that there are no collisions on those barbed wire fences. So it kind of goes both ways. So here we have one of the 4 cow pastures. We're going to buy a cow in each one of these just to see if there's maybe some unique attributes to these cow areas, like maybe they don't do manure, maybe they don't do slurry. one honestly does milk because we've got the milk trigger there. We've got our bale trigger for our food. We have our water trigger. Get a brown and white cow. For this area, we need water, no cleanliness. Food looks normal. They just make milk. They don't do manure. They don't do slurry. It is because they just do their business on the ground. No one's coming around here and scooping it up and collecting it. This is really cool. Take a listen as we go by this. We got kind of beehives. And we get the bee sound as we get real close to those. Got our food trough, our milk, of our cow, and this one not take water, and water way up here. Water's way over here because it's kind of by this little creek. It's kind of cool how that's set up. Kind of water trailer that's been taken off its wheels, just sitting on a big truck wheel. And we'll get a black cow for this one. Black cow, same thing as the brown and white cow. Wish these were kind of numbered and numbered. So some of these areas you can see on the PDA have numbers like 13, 14, and 37. I wish it kind of was like cow area, 13. And you kind of knew which one was which. That was the area at 14. Here we have 13 on the other side of this little access road. I left their hat here. $13. Our milk trigger. We have our buy trigger. We have the glowing disc for our food trough. And our water is... Where is it? This one goes way back here. Hey, does this area... Cows surely don't not need water, do they? Yeah, they have water. Okay, so where is it? Seeing it. There it is, way over here. There we have our water. That is the 4 cow pastures. Guess that was just 3. 4th one is up here. Again, the only way you can make use of these is if you're on PC. You do one of the two edit methods that I talked about earlier in the video. If you're a console player and you're watching this video, sadly there's no way for you to fix yours at this point. Not even in multiplayer, I don't think. Because of the fact that the farm IDs are wrong. So that needs to be fixed at the XML level. And sadly, console players just don't have access to the actual file level of the game and the mods in order to make that change. Here you have the water trough. We have the milk trigger, food trough, and we have our gray Brahmin. Again, they just produce milk. Someone comes and milks them and then puts the milk here. It'd be cool if we could do like a white filled milk texture. Maybe somebody will add that to their map next. It'd be neat. Got a bit of a drive to the next area. Zoom out. Kind of. We didn't actually do a flyover over here, but zooming way out, we kind of get that flyover effect. Imagine this map would look really nice with seasons enabled. All the different foliage and trees. Though I am surprised that the utility service hasn't come through here and trimmed back these trees. They appear to be growing right in the middle of these lines. And again, we're going to head down this road. We've got that big, nice cornfield off here to our right. Field 7 with that Field 4 over here with that tree line coming out into the trees. I think there's also maybe a creek running through there. These trees seem to be keeping their distance from the utilities, but that other road, I think you'd be losing power quite a bit with respect to lines going down. Here we have our BGA. And I'm a little unsure on how well this BGA is working, or will work, with respect to the fact that it's showing up here as usable, even though we don't own it. We have our digester. We have our huge bunkers. These are massive. If we can't get the trigger to come up. There we go. I just wonder what that one would have capacity for. Hope these lights work well. Night. I'm wondering. Guessing our digestate trigger is up here. We have fuel. There's our digestate trigger right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn left at the next intersection, head down there to the animal dealer. Check out that series of sell points. Got a tunnel cut through the tree ridge line. And those lights kind of pop in as we got to the specified visual distance. That was pretty cool. We have our animal trailer trigger. A trigger for lime, maybe? Something that I can't... an icon there, but there's no trigger. Not really sure what that is. Got what looks like maybe a slurry buy point back here. See if we can't zoom in on this. Raw. Okay, so that's probably a bale sell point there. That's not showing up here at all. And buyable. I think that is a slurry buy point. Wondering if this is supposed to be like a manure buy point, but I'm not. This Mahindra won't store that, maybe. There we have our bale sell point. And we have 2 sell points down here. Do a trailer dump in either of these bays. Then around the back, we have our root crop unload point for our potatoes and our sugar beets. Remember, this map does not have sugar cane on it, nor does it have cotton. Double back, and well, I guess we'll hit the force area first, and then we'll end at the Holes Handel root sell point. Going across here, just taking a look at the how the fields are laying over there. Here we have the horse area. Like a nice indoor riding area. Nice. I think this was a mod recently, wasn't it, in the mod hub? Something looked like this. Maybe I'm thinking of something completely different, but this looks pretty darn cool. We have our horse delivery point. Bale trigger for food. Our water trough. Now down here, look, we've got the custom icons and we have the trigger markers. Gotta wonder if maybe there's something going on with the texture of this fence. Got the wrong shader on it or something. Overall, this is a really nice setup. We've got various indoor areas, outdoor areas. Got one of those cool down walking areas. Cool setup for an equine farm. Wondered if maybe that was the maybe a farmhouse associated with the horse area. And is this the road we need to take? Yes, it is. Yeah, so as we head down to the last sell point, I want to hear your comments. What do you think of this map? Was my information at the start helpful with respect to getting everything working for you? I hope it was. And for the console folks, I hope that you know, maybe mid-January we see a map update that will fix all this stuff for you guys, so you can you know, enjoy the full aspects that the map has to offer. Really sorry that you all don't have access to the file system to make file level changes on maps and mods and such, but well, it is how it is. And here we have our trigger for our wood chips there, as well as our logs. And I have to say that I mentioned watching the CLEP video the other day, and that is, I have never in my life seen a shingle log before. Whoa! A shingle and brick log. Wow. That is amazing. You slice the brick tree and you get shingles. Amazing. Anyway, I was watching a CLEP video on this map because, well, I didn't realize that this map had just come out. So I was trying to catch. There's another one of those shingle logs. I was trying to catch up on his stuff, and so this little aspect of the map I kind of already knew about, watching his stuff. But this needs to obviously be fixed also. The actual activation trigger to actually activate your log sell point, or possibly this is your log sell trigger right there. If you're having trouble selling your logs, bring them into this field right in front of this icon and see if that works. That clearly needs to be relocated also. So until next time, happy farming. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.